What's up, guys? My name is Luca Kassab, and welcome back to Fresh on Clips. The NBA trade deadline has passed as of February 6th, and today it's Tuesday, February 11th. So, yes, there has been some time in between then and now, but we're here, we're talking about it, and that's mainly because of the buyout market. I think that we have seen the heat of the buyout market. The biggest name, who we'll talk about later, has been signed, and the second apron, it actually came up with a very cool change that if you're above that apron, then you cannot sign anyone who's making more than the mid-level exception. So a guy like Ben Simmons got released, and that takes a team like the Lakers away from his buyout market, even though they need a center, which is a pretty cool change in my opinion. So let's get into what the Clippers did. I would say they did a pretty solid job with their trade deadline. Hurt some fans, but we did a good job. So the first trade we made was PJ Tucker, Mo Bamba for Drew Eubanks and Patty Mills. So Eubanks, just a backup center. I'm not one to love that trade, but we did get off PJ's money. Mo Bamba has not been good enough. He doesn't play hard enough. He's not a good enough backup center. And Eubanks, he's serviceable. He reminds me a lot of Plumlee. Can shoot the outside shot, won't take it, but he's smarter. Defensively, he tries to contest every shot, even though he does get dunked on a fair amount. And my big thing with him, though, is I saw a stat that said Devin Booker and KD, because he was on the Suns last year, the only player on that team who had a negative net rating when playing with both of them was Drew Eubanks. So that just tells me something that maybe he's not the greatest center and his stats don't look too good, but he plays hard and he plays his role. He's never played with a playmaker like James Harden, so maybe he'll elevate it. But Patty Mills, on the other hand, that's a great veteran leader to have around. 36 years old, Olympic legend, always balls out for Australia. Hasn't really gotten a chance in the NBA since he left the Spurs, but he's older and he has a lot to teach to our younger guys. The Cam Christies of the world could use this. Marjon Beauchamp, who we'll talk about later, can use this. Jordan Miller. So I like it, the veteran leadership that's there, and I like the fact we're not weaving him. Eubanks, again, just pretty meh to me. We haven't had many great backup centers to Zoo aside from iHeart, so he's whatever. Let's move on to the trade that I think hurt the most people, and that was the Clippers getting Bogdan Bogdanovic in 3 seconds, one of which being their own, for Terence Mann and Bones Highland. So let's start with Bones. He's just never really got a chance with the Clippers. We traded for him in 2022 for him to be our backup point guard. But then Russell Westbrook got put on the market. So all of a sudden, well, now he has no role. It was okay, he's the backup behind Westbrook. And he did his own thing, sure. He did well enough, but he didn't ever stand out. He's a crazy scorer, but not much more. He had a great playoff game, game 4 against the Suns. He was elite, had over 25. And then the following season, he's getting an opportunity to start next to Westbrook to start the year because Terence is hurt, because Norm's still a sixth man. And then we go and trade for James Harden. So Bones goes from being a secure backup point guard, just sitting behind Terrence Mann, to now he has two Hall of Famers in front of him. He never really got given a chance. And that's something that, to me, he's such a good basketball player. It's so clear how skilled of a scorer and a player he is. So it really does sting that he didn't get a chance with us. And Atlanta's not giving him a chance either. So he's on the market. Hopefully, a team gives him a chance. I don't know who, but I really do think his reputation is hurt because he did not enjoy playing with Jokic. Who has ever said that? So, Bones, I wish you the best wherever you end up, but he was a bench warmer for us. He got stuck behind KPJ this year, so he was expendable. So, Bones, love you. One of my guys, but it's okay to lose. But the guy who I really was sad about was Terrence Mann. So let me grab it actually. We got the Terrence Mann card that's been sitting in my phone case for over 2 years. But I had a gut feeling. When I was leaving my house, I did take my Chris Dunn jersey. I didn't take my Terrence. Just my rebranded ones. I didn't take anything except the Chris Dunn one. But Terence, my whole thing was he just hasn't been good enough this year. He hasn't been given the opportunity either, but he started the year very slow, as he usually does. It's just his thing. But then he lost his opportunities to KPJ, and when he was on the floor, he looked a little bit reckless. I just really can't say how much he's improved since 2022 or even 2023. His three-point shot hasn't gotten much better. It's actually gone down in percentage from 39 to 34. His defense is the same. He hustles, he works his ass off every possession, tries to get you extra possessions, which he does. He's a good offensive rebounder for a guard. He's a good defensive guard. He's not attacking the rim as much this year, so he's expendable. Well, forever, I think a lot of us Clipper fans, we were very nostalgic over this move just because we'll forever remember his game six. We'll forever remember what he's done for the franchise. But at the end of the day, his $15 million was expendable. It wasn't the greatest contract to have right now. The fact we got Bogdanovic and three second round picks, that's insane to me. Terence, sending all of my love, all of my support to Atlanta. And he balled out yesterday. 3 for 3 from three, 11 points. So we see the confidence coming back. He's going to fit really well with Trey, Dyson, and their core over there. So shout out Terrence. But here's the one we really want to talk about. The three second round picks, I love. We are a team in desperate need of draft capital. So even though they're second round picks, those are three second round picks that we can either draft with or trade. We do not have much capital. We don't have many first round picks. So the fact we got three second round picks back is huge for us. Part of the reason is Bogdanovic is making $18 million a year, and he's having a down year at 10 points per game, shooting 37, 30, 88. So he's a career 14.5 point per game scorer and 38% from three. So obviously it's a down year. He hasn't been playing the last couple days. He hadn't played the last couple games while they tried to find a trade partner, but I'm really excited over this move. Bogey is the exact example of a three-level scorer. And you know what? Our bench unit has been needing scorers. He's the perfect six man to slide in because he's going to give buckets. He's not great defensively, which is something I don't love, but because the rest of the team is so good defensively, we can get away with it. But the big thing to me is that 3 point percentage. We as a team have been really struggling to start second quarters. Kawhi said it perfectly, that second unit, including himself. He didn't say that though. That second unit needs to get better, needs to be better. So getting a dude like Bogdanovic to take over what, like the KPJ role basically? Crazy upgrade. Again, his mid-range game is nice. He's good at facilitating, attacking the rim. He does average 3.5 assists, which is something I love too. But it's going to take pressure off of the James Harden's, Norm Powell's, Kawhi's to put the ball in the basket and shot create. Because KPJ was doing it, but he just doesn't shoot a high enough percentage and it's very sloppy. Bogdanovic is a lot more fundamental and he can play off the ball when needed and it's not a weird fit. I give the Clippers a A for that trade just because Bogdanovic, while he may not be having the greatest year, it's a gamble worth taking because you put a guy in a different situation and put him next to better players, it'll help. It'll help with that second unit. He's a great guy to have as an option to close games if we really want to do that. And he's a bigger guard. I like the bigger 6'6" guard. So, third trade, Kevin Porter Jr. for Marjon Beauchamp. Anyone who watches knows how much I cannot stand Kevin Porter Jr. I said in the preseason projections and my thoughts that we need to give him 10, 15 games. And I did. I gave him that time, but it was so clear from the jump that he was not helping our team. It was clear he hadn't played basketball in the NBA in multiple years because he just was not shooting a high percentage. He looked like he changed his jumper, and he just dribbles too much to be on with a guy like James Harden. Too much dribbling, too many tough shots, too many bad shots. He shot way too many long twos. Defensively, he was on and off. Some nights he looked like he was giving it all. Other nights he was as lazy as possible. He's a dumb defender. He's a defensive liability. He's a dumb offensive player. And he's just not high IQ. That's all I have to say. If you're not a high IQ basketball player, I automatically do not like you. But the thing defensively, let's highlight this Lakers game because that was before all the trades. LeBron was attacking him every possession. LeBron was getting the switch. Whoever was guarding, KPJ was guard, comes at the screen, gets the switch, and it was barbecue chicken from there. So, KPJ, I didn't like you from the jump because I didn't think you were a great person. And now I still don't like you because I don't think you're a good basketball player. I think you're an inefficient ball chucker who only cares about personal stats. Good luck playing under Doc, my good buddy Glenn in Milwaukee. He got a DNP the other night too, so let's note that. On the other hand, Marjan Beauchamp, don't know much about him. 2 points per game is what I was seeing. I saw he did have a 25-point game this season, and Bucks fans really do not seem very high on him. But he is a 23-year-old. He's another guy who could sit behind and develop because I don't think he'll be given a chance. But at the end of the day, he's on a rookie deal. So when this deal runs out, we don't have to offer him anything if we don't want to. And Lawrence Frank said they were going to try and give him some run. No way. The roster does not need another guy like that. We have a dude like Jordan Miller who's already better than him. So don't force him in. I'm I was happy about the trade in the moment. Anyone who saw my TikTok knows after that Pacers game, I was questioning it a little bit. But the signing that we just made has got rid of all of my questioning because I thought KPJ not being there as a backup ball handler hurts us a little bit because James really is our only true playmaker and our only true ball handler. But the Clippers went out and signed Ben Simmons. I know. He is maybe the laughingstock of the NBA. But I am really excited over it because, as I said, KPJ was our secondary ball handler. That was one thing he was really good for. Slide Ben Simmons in there. Better playmaker, won't shoot bad shots. I'm all for it. Won't force threes. I'm all for it. And anyone talking about his lack of spacing, just know KPJ ruined spacing too. So it's not like it's a problem we didn't already have. But really, to talk about Ben, his $40 million when he was released, we're only paying the vet minimum. So we could, if we wanted to, we save the mid-level exception, what we have left of it that Nico is not getting, and we could still sign another guy if we were to release someone or fill some form of a roster spot. So Ben Simmons this season, 6.2 points, 5.2 rebounds, 7 assists almost, 55% from the field. Solid pickup. He's played limited minutes, but at the end of the day, you know why we signed Ben Simmons? Because he's probably the best backup center we could have gotten. He's a point center. Ty Lue said it, I say it. Great defensively, can play. He's elite on the perimeter. He's elite as a shot. He's like a solid shot blocker. But he's just a backup big who I trust to handle the ball because think about it. Now our backup unit is we stagger whichever of Kawhi, Norm, whoever didn't close the quarter, right? So our bench unit is Bogdanovic, it's Ben Simmons, it's Amir Coffey, it's Nico Batum, and it's either Kawhi or Norm. I love that. Ben Simmons is a guy you could use as a ball handler or put him in the short corner, put him in the short roll position, and it's a low risk move. I really like it. I think he fits really well with the shooting we have. We needed another facilitator because, as I said, Terence wasn't doing it. Norm's a shot creator. He's not a facilitator. Kawhi's not a playmaker. Derrick Jones Jr. is not a playmaker. And Chris Dunn, who's supposed to be our backup point guard, offensively, he is a little bit scared of the handle. He doesn't attack the rim as much, but he's so elite defensively, I do not care. I love the idea of Ben Simmons being a point center, and anyone saying that he can't play next to Zoo, he will end up playing next to Zoo. His vision is that good. Health does concern me a little bit, but Ben made the right call in hope to revive his NBA career. The Clippers are going to give him consistent minutes. He's going to play that backup five. He's going to play the backup one at the same time. And the defensive ability makes him a perfect fit, especially with the lack of ball handling. I love the Ben Simmons pickup. Imagine this lineup defensively. Ben Simmons at the one, okay. Kawhi, Chris Dunn, Derrick Jones Jr., and Zoo? Who's scoring on that lineup? Ben Simmons, elite defensive player. Chris Dunn, one of, if not the best perimeter defenders in basketball. Derrick Jones Jr., same boat. Kawhi, still a great defender, even after the injury. And Zoo, one of the greatest anchors in the league right now. All defensive, that man. No one scoring on that group. And maybe, well, what about the offense there? Sure. Ben Simmons is still a playmaker. Norm Powell is still a good defender. Throw him in for Chris Dunn. Whatever. Point being is Ben Simmons will be our backup five. Eubanks isn't going to have to play a ton, but I'm excited. I think Ben Simmons is a perfect fit. It takes some pressure off of James Harden as a playmaker. And I'm happy that Ben remembered what Donovan Mitchell said about him after winning Rookie of the Year. Because guess what? It was between us and Cleveland. Cleveland wouldn't have given him a chance, and D. Mitch does not like him. Ben Simmons, Marjan Beauchamp, Terence, Bogdan Bogdanovic, Drew Eubanks, Patty Mills, and 3 second-round picks to the Clippers for Terence Mann, PJ Tucker, Bones Highland, Mo Bamba, Kevin Porter Jr. I say the Clippers did all they could at the deadline to ensure that their ceiling was raised. I still do not think we're championship contenders. We are not better than OKC. I don't think anyone in the West is. The Lakers are clearly better than us. But I do think that we did get better as a team, especially with there being 12 teams in the West that are legitimate play-in playoff contenders. These were big moves that we had to make, and it raises our ceiling. As for predictions for who's going to fall out, I have no clue. I don't think San Antonio gets in just because they're too far back at the moment. And I think Sacramento misses. So, calling it now. I think that Luca being a Laker gives us our best shot at Clippers-Lakers in a playoff series just because Luca's a magnet to the Clippers. And I think that we match up pretty well with them, even though we did look awful against them last game. But I'm excited for the lineups that could be run. I'm excited for the upside, and I can't wait to watch Bogdanovic play tomorrow against the Jazz. Ben Simmons also was already in the arena. He has been practicing, and he's wearing number 25 again. So, All-Star Ben, question mark? We'll see what happens. I love the moves for the Clippers. All-Star break right around the corner. And let's get these 2 dubs against Memphis on Wednesday and Utah on Thursday. Peace.
Clippers bring it in. 5 seconds to go. Tie game. Seatbelts are fastened. Lou Williams for the win. Bingo!
Oh my goodness.
God, he got it! 1 second left. Clippers by 2.
The three for the tie. Oh!